souls outside my sycamore tree, sing on a green willow. Her head on her bosom, her head on her knees, sing willow, willow, willow. The fresh streams run by her, and murmur, sing willow, willow, willow. The salt is for sunburn, soften the stone, sing a willow, willow, willow. Ready, hidey, you come on, sing all the green willow. Must be my darling, let nobody blame this scorn I approve.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge for the third Saturday of February. We have a smaller group with us today, but small but very dedicated. So we got a lot of talent even with the small group. Myself, Sheila, Alex, John, Maggie, and Bill, ready to perform randomly chosen monologues and scenes for everybody watching today. So our randomly predetermined random order that we have Henry, Elizabeth, Sheila, Danielle, Maggie, Eleanor, Alex, Bill, myself, Brannon, John, Ted is the order we're going in. So let me bring up the of those people. I think Sheila is the first one that is here. So let me get the wheel up to find out what Sheila is going to do. Here is Julia, and spinning. That's what we can do. Okay, so spinning for Sheila. Sheila is going to perform. Okay, Ponderous' epilogue at the end of Troilus and Cressida.
Oh, I've done that epilogue.
You have? Okay, I'll spin. We'll spin again for you. Okay, Othello, the Beautiful Mind. I think you've done that one before. That's Act 3, Act 3, Scene 3, about 350. It's hard to find. It's a really long scene, but let me know when you find it.
I'm working my way down. This is a long scene. You are right. This is half the play. Let me see. Oh, you said it's about 300 lines down. Okay.
Yeah. I believe 355 is what I put.
And does it? What are the first couple of words?
I think it starts with Avant and yelling at Iago, and then he breaks. I had been happy if I'm trying to remember exactly.
Hi, apologies. 3-3.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting into character now, I think. Okay, this is 3-3. All right. 300 lines down. I'd rather be a toad. And Amelia comes in. It's after Amelia?
Yeah. I think Avant, thou hast set me on the rack, I think is how it begins.
No, I'm all the way at the end and I don't see an Avant. I'm sorry.
I might be wrong about that. You know, I'm sorry. You got to go. Would you like to have us go ahead and spin for Danielle?
Oh yeah, go ahead. I'll
give you a chance to find it while she
Yeah.
goes. Okay, so let's bring Danielle into the stream and see. I'm sorry, I meant I said Maggie. It's Maggie's turn.
Oh,
okay. So let's spin for you while she's looking for that.
Sure.
Okay, so let's have Maggie do while Shelia's looking for the Othello one. King Richard from the prison cell. I've been studying how
Richard 255.
Not Act 2, Richard 2, Act 5, Scene 5.
And then is it just from the very beginning?
I believe that's what starts the scene.
Okay.
Very difficult to find one that's easy to find.
No, it's good. And then it ends with should I go beyond the music do I hear?
Yeah, basically you can go until the assassin.
Until the groom comes in. Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go.
All right. I have been studying how I may compare this prison where I live unto the world. And for because the world is populous and here is not a creature but myself, I cannot do it. Yet I'll hammer it out. My brain I'll prove the female to my soul the father. And these two beget a generation of still breeding thoughts. And these same thoughts people this little world in humors like the people of this world, for no thought is contented. The better sort, as thoughts of things divine, are intermixed with scruples and do set the word itself against the word, as thus, come, little ones, and then again, it is as hard to come as for a camel to thread the postern of a small needle's eye. Thoughts tending to ambition, they do plot unlikely wonders, how these vain, weak nails may tear a passage through the flinty ribs of this hard world, my ragged prison walls, and for they cannot die in their own pride. Thoughts tending to content flatter themselves that they are not the first of fortune's slaves, nor shall be the last. Like silly beggars who, sitting in the stocks, refuge their shame that many have and others must sit there. And in this thought they find a kind of ease, bearing their own misfortunes on the back of such have before endured like. Thus play I in one person many people, and none contented. Sometimes am I king, then treasons make me wish myself a beggar, and so I am. Then crushing penury persuades me I was better when a king. Then am I kinged again, and by think that I am unkinged by Bolingbroke, and straight am nothing. But whate'er I be, nor I nor any man but man is with nothing shall be pleased till he be eased with being nothing. Music do I hear? Keep time. How sour sweet music is when time is broken, no proportion kept. So is it in the music of men's lives. And here have I the daintiness of ear to check time broke in a distorted string. But for the comfort of my state and time had not an ear to hear my true time broke. I wasted time, and now doth time waste me. For now hath time made me his numbering clock. My thoughts are minutes, and with sighs they jar their watches on unto mine eyes. The outward watch whereto my finger, like a dial's point, is pointing still in cleansing them from tears. Now, sir, the sound that tells what hour it is are clamorous groans which strike upon my heart, which is the bell. So sighs and tears and groans show minutes, times, and hours. But my time runs posting in on Bolingbroke's proud joy, while I stand fooling here, his jack of a clock. Ah, this music mads me. Let it sound no more, for though it have pulp madmen to their wits, in me it seems to make wise men mad. Yet blessing on his heart that gives it me, for 'tis the sign of love, and love to Richard is a strange brooch in this all-hating world.
Okay, very nice. So I'm hoping that Sheila was able to find her Othello monologue while Maggie was doing that. Have you found it?
Well, I had difficulty because the line was in the middle of the speech, and it's part of a scene between Iago and Othello. It's a wonderful exchange.
Yeah, it is. We have done that as a scene, but it also works very well as a monologue. This one particular outburst.
Well, a vaunt is 3 lines, and then after that is 6 lines. And Iago keeps coming in, so I don't know where you want me to stop.
Just do whatever's comfortable with you. However, but before you start, one thing I wanted to mention to the group is Eleanor just joined us. I didn't say this before because she wasn't here when we started. I want to mention I just saw her email, her message. She had said Eleanor lost her mother on Monday, and I'm very sorry to hear that. And she had requested that we do. That she do a monologue specifically related to the loss of a parent and so forth, and she had suggested, Prince Hal in the Bolingbroke's death scene, and I thought maybe Hamlet, oh, that this too solid flesh would melt, and actually it is Eleanor's turn next, so I'm thinking, before it's her turn, if anybody else has any other ideas, you can put it in the chat. And when it's her turn after Sheila,
Eleanor can go ahead. All right. I'm fine not doing this right now. I don't really want to do it.
Okay. And so I can spit. Hi, Eleanor. Sorry to. So you can do one of those, or we can spin for you, whatever you prefer.
I had written you about our doing scenes having to do with the loss of a parent. You're talking about doing monologues?
Oh, okay. Well, there is that scene. How about I can just decide that's one of them, and then we'll spin for the others.
Okay.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and make that one of the scenes. So for your monologue, I'll go ahead and spin for you, and okay. Jupiter, no more you petty spirits. That's Act 5, Scene 4, Cymbeline.
Let's see. Cymbeline. Why am I not finding Cymbeline? Oh, here it is. Cymbeline, a comedy. I wasn't looking at Cymbeline for comedies. Act 5, Scene what? 4?
Act 5, Scene 4.
And where is it? I'm sorry, who and where again? The line? And
no, it begins with "No more you petty spirits."
I see no more thou thundermaster. Ah, I see it.
Okay.
Okay.
So whenever you're ready, go.
are you petty spirits of region low offend our hearing? Hush! How dare you ghosts accuse the thunderer, whose bolt, you know, sky-planted batters all rebelling coasts? Poor shadows of Elysium, hence, and rest upon your never-withering banks of flowers. Be not with mortal accidents oppressed. No care of yours it is. You know 'tis ours. Whom best I love, I cross, to make my gift the more delighted. Be content. Your low-laid son, our Godhead, will uplift, his comforts thrive, his trials well are spent. Our jovial star reigned at his birth, and in our temple was he married. Rise and fade, he shall be lord of Lady Imogen, and happier much by his affliction made. This tablet lay upon his breast, wherein our pleasure his full fortune doth confine. And so away. No further with your din express impatience, lest you stir up mine. Mount, eagle, to my palace crystalline.
Okay, great. See, Sheila left us. I mean, I was going to spin again for her since she had trouble with that. I hope I didn't upset her. I don't know why she left, but anyway, it is Alex's turn, and I also saw Henry just joined us. He was supposed to be first, so we'll do Alex because he was on deck, and then Henry we'll do after Alex. Alex, you will do. Lord Capulet. God's bread, it makes me mad. Romeo and Juliet, Act 3, Scene 5.
All right, I have it.
Okay.
God's bread, it makes me mad. Day, night, hour, tide, time, work, play, alone in company. Still my care had been to have her matched, and having now provided a gentleman of noble parentage, of fair denseness, youthful and nobly trained, stuffed, as they say, with honorable parts, proportioned as one's thought would wish a man, and then to have a wretched pulling fool, a whining mammoth in her fortune's tender, to answer, I'll not wed, I cannot love, I'm too young, I pray you, pardon me. But as you will not wed, I'll pardon you. Grace where you will, you shall not house with me. Look to it, think on it, I do not use to jest, Thursday is near. Lay thy hand on heart, advise, and you be mine. I'll give you to my friend, and you'll be not hang back, starve, die in the streets. For by my soul, I'll never acknowledge thee, nor what it is mine shall never do thee good. Trust to it, bethink you, I'll not be forsworn.
Okay. Very nice. Now it will go to him. Oh, good. Sheila made it back. Sheila, glad you made it back. I told Henry he was going next, and
no, that's fine. That's fine.
After Henry, I'll go ahead and spin for another one that hopefully that another one will work for you. Okay, but Henry, your turn. Hi. So Henry's going to do. Imogen. A man's life. So Cymbeline, Act 3, Scene 6.
I see a man's life.
I think that's the top of the scene. I'm not sure.
6. All right, it's the top of the scene, yeah.
Okay.
I see a man's life is a tedious one. I have tired myself, and for 2 nights together have made the ground my bed. I should be sick, but that my resolution helps me. Milford, when from the mountain top Pisanio showed thee thou wast within a ken. Oh, Jove, I think foundations fly the wretched. Such, I mean, where they should be relieved. 2 beggars told me I could not miss my way. Will poor folks lie that have afflictions on them, knowing 'tis a punishment or trial? Yes. No wonder when rich ones scarce tell true. To lapse in fullness is sorer than to lie for need, and falsehood is worse in kings and beggars. Oh, my dear Lord, thou art one of the false ones. Now I think on thee, my hunger's gone. But even before, I was at point to sink for food. Oh, but what's this? Here is a path to it, to some savage hold. Oh, best not to call. I dare not call, yet famine, ere clean it o'erthrow, nature makes it valiant plenty, and peace breeds cowards. Hardness ever of hardiness is mother. Oh, who's there? If anything that's civil, speak. If savage, take or lend. Ho! No answer. Then I'll enter. Best draw my sword, and if my enemy but fear the sword like me, he'll scarcely look on't. Such a foe. Good heavens.
Okay. Very nice. Go back to Sheila now and see if we can find one that works better for her. Okay.
It's a great scene. I was reading it saying, this is marvelous. I'd hate to try to do it as one person because the exchange is so good.
Okay. Spinning again for Sheila. Stuck on that one for you. Let's try again. Ah, 4. What a damned epic. I think this is one I added to the wheel at somebody's suggestion like a month or so ago, and I haven't even spun it yet.
Okay.
I think this is at the end of this where he's
He has the monologue after Falstaff leaves, right? Yes.
after Gaunt.
Yeah, this I actually recognize. Here we go.
Let me create the banner for you. Okay, are you ready to go?
Yes.
Okay, go.
What a damned Epicurean rascal is this? My heart is ready to crack with impatience. Who says this is improvident jealousy? My wife has sent to him. The hour is fixed. The match is made. Would any man have thought this? See the hell of having a false woman. My bed shall be abused, my coffers ransacked, my reputation lawed at. I shall not only receive this villainous wrong, but stand under the adoption of abominable terms, and by him that does me this wrong. Terms. Names. Ammon sounds well. Lucifer. Well, Barbazan. Well, yet they are devil's additions, the names of fiends, but cuckold, whittle, cuckold, the devil himself has not such a name. Page is an ass, a secure ass. He will trust his wife. He will not be jealous. I would rather trust a Fleming with my butter, a Parson Hugh the Welshman with my cheese, an Irishman with my aquavitae bottle, or a thief to walk among my ambling gelding, than my wife with herself. Then she plots. Then she ruminates. Then she devises, and what they think in their hearts they may effect. They will break their hearts, but they will effect. Oh, God be praised for my jealousy. 11 o'clock, the hour. I will prevent this. Detect my wife. Be revenged on Falstaff and laugh at Page. I will about it. Better 3 hours too soon than a minute too late. Oh, fie, fie. Cuckold, cuckold, cuckold.
That was nice.
I'm glad I had something fun. I enjoy fun.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we still have Bill, myself, then John to wrap up the monologues before we go on to scenes. So there's Bill, and he will do. What's that? Tomorrow.
Act 5, right?
Act
What
5, scene 5.
Okay.
Okay. The queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. Men, all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out, out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing. See.
Okay. Always love that one. Okay, it's my turn now, and then John will do the last one before we start our scenes. So I'm going to do. Duchess, what fire is in mine ears? What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride adieu. No glory lives beyond the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving soul. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly. Scene. John, you're up. Okay, so before last monologue before scenes, John is going to do the wheel seems to be stuck on Cymbeline today. Yeah, just about everything Cymbeline. Okay, but this is a different image.
Oh, horse with wings.
Oh, for a horse with wings. Actually, scene 2.
That was Act 3, Scene 2?
Yes.
Okay. What were the words, the first words again? I didn't get that. It disappears.
Oh, for a horse with wings.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, for a horse with wings. Hear'st thou, Passiano? He is at Milford Haven. Read and tell me how far 'tis thither. If one of mean affairs may plot it in a week, why may not I glide thither in a day? Then, true Pisanio, who longst like me to see thy lord, who longst, let me bate, but not like me, yet longst, but in a fainter kind. Oh, not like me. For mine beyond, say and speak thick. Love's counselor should fill the bores of hearing to the smothering of the sense. How far it is to this same blessed Milford, and by the way, tell me how Wales was made as happy as to inherit such a haven. But first of all, how may we steal from hence? And for the gap that we shall make in time from our hence going and our return, to excuse. But first, how get hence? Why should excuse be born or e'er begot? We'll talk of the hereafter. Pray thee speak. How many score of miles may we ride twixt hour and hour?
Can't tell if we just lost you or if you were finished.
Yeah, I was finished.
Okay. Okay. So that's it for our monologues. So the one scene that's predetermined because of Eleanor, I'm going to be bringing up. I already wrote that one. We'll spin for the others. We have Henry. It's Henry IV, Part 2, Act 4, Scene 5. We would begin that one from when it's just two of them. I thought to never hear you speak again. I wish was father to that thought. That's where we'll go from. And I'll let you choose. But I don't know if you want to be the father or the son. I'll let you choose that. Everyone else will go in the order to choose once we find out what our other scenes are. Did you want to be the father or the son?
I'll be the son.
Okay, so we'll precast Eleanor as Prince Hal in that scene. So the dying king and whatever we spin will be the ones that remain for everybody else. So let's see what other scenes we'll do besides that one. There are 8 of us, so we need to. We have Measure for Measure, Claudio and Isabella. Measure for Measure. Act 3, Scene 1, that's the brother and sister. I think this is where she tells him that Angelo has said he'll spare his life if she sleeps with him, and she's letting her brother know what a snake Angelo is. Romeo and Juliet. I think we just did this one. Yeah, that should not be on. We just did that one. Okay, so. Okay, Richard. This is a good one. Richard II. Act 1, Scene 2. John of Gaunt and the Duchess of Gloucester, talking about the king that said it's divine right, and God will deal with him, but we know he killed your husband. But one more scene for 2 players. Romeo and Juliet. There are 2 good scenes on the wheel for Juliet and the nurse. We just did one, but I think this is the other one. Act 2, Scene 5. So Juliet and the nurse. If that's the same one that we just did a couple weeks ago, somebody let me know and we'll spin again. But I think that's a different scene from the one that we just did. So we have so once again the roles that are available. We're doing Henry IV Part 2, the death of King Henry IV. Eleanor is already chosen to be Hal. We've still got the king in that scene. We've got Claudio and Isabella in Measure for Measure. We've got Richard II, Act 1, Scene 2, John of Gaunt and the Duchess of Gloucester. And then we've got Romeo and Juliet, Act 2, Scene 5, Juliet and the nurse. So going in reverse. So John will have the first choice amongst those roles. Where did John go? There he is. John, what would you like?
I think John of Gaunt.
Okay. And myself, darn, that's the one I was going to take. I'll take the king. I'll take King Henry. Bill, what would you like?
How about Claudio?
Okay, Bill is going to be Claudio. Alex, what would you like?
Oh, I will take the nurse.
The nurse. All women roles left at this point. Maggie, what would you like?
Did you call on me? Okay, Isabella.
Okay, Maggie will be.
Is she already taken?
No, you got her. And that leaves Sheila and Henry. Sheila, there's the Duchess.
I'll take the Duchess.
Okay, the Duchess. So that leaves Henry plays Juliet a lot. And this time he got it not by choice, just by the last one left.
Well, we left it for him. We thought it would be priceless to make sure Henry gets Juliet again. Okay,
so Sheila will be the Duchess, and Richard and and Henry will be Juliet. Okay, so we'll start with myself and where's Eleanor? There she is. Okay. Give me a second to get the scene. I was okay, so I'm ready. I'm ready to go when you are.
Okay. Why doth the crown lie there upon his pillow, being so troublesome a bedfellow? O polished perturbation, golden care that keeps the portals of slumber wide open to many a watchful night. Sleep with it now, yet not so sound and half so deeply sweet as he whose brow with homely big and bound snores out the watch of night. O majesty, when thou dost pinch thy bearer, thou dost sit like a rich armor worn in heat of day that scalds with safety. By his gates of breath there lies a downy feather which stirs not. Did he suspire, that light and weightless down perforce must move. My gracious lord, my father, this sleep is sound indeed. This is a sleep that from this golden regal hath divorced so many English kings. Thy due from me is tears and heavy sorrows of the blood, which nature, love, and filial tenderness shall, my dear father, pay thee plenteously. My due from thee is this imperial crown, which is immediate as thy place and blood derives itself to me. Lo, here it sits, which God shall guard, and put the whole world's whole strength into one giant arm. It shall not force this lineal honor from me. This from thee will I to mine leave, as 'tis left to me.
Warwick! Gloucester! Clarence! Where is the crown? Who took it from my pillow? The prince hath ta'en it hence. Go seek him out. Is he so hasty that he doth suppose my sleep my death? Find him, my lord of Warwick. Chide him hither. It's part of his conjoins with my disease and helps to end me. See, sons, what things you are. Quickly nature falls into revolt when gold becomes her object. For this the foolish, over-careful fathers have broke their sleep with thoughts, their brains with care, their bones with industry. For this they have engrossed and piled up the cankered heaps of strange achieved gold. For this they have been thoughtful to invest their sons with arts and martial exercises. Like the bee, pulling from every flower the virtuous sweets, our thighs packed with wax, our mouths with honey, we bring it, the hive, hither. And like the bees enmurdered of our pains, this bitter taste yields his engrossments to the ending father. But wherefore did he take away the crown? Lo, where he comes. Come hither to me, Harry. Depart the chamber. Leave us here alone.
I never thought to hear you speak again.
Thy wish was father, Harry, to that thought. I stay too long by thee. I weary thee. Dost thou so hunger for mine empty chair that thou wilt needs invest thee with my honors before thy hour be ripe? O foolish youth, thou seek'st the greatness that will o'erwhelm thee. Stay but a little, for my cloud of dignity is held from falling with so weak a mind that it will quickly drop. My day is dim. Thou hast stolen that which from after some few hours were thine without offense. And at my death thou hast sealed up my expectation. Thy life did manifest thou lovedst me not, and thou wilt have me die assured of it. Thou hidest 1,000 daggers in thy thoughts, which thou hast whetted in thy stony heart, to stab at half an hour of my life. What? Canst thou not forbear me half an hour? Then get thee gone and dig my grave thyself. Bid the merry bells ring to thine ear. Thou art crowned. Not that I am dead. That all the tears that should dew my hearse be drops me balm to sanctify thy head, only compound me with forgotten dust. Give that which gave thee life unto the worms. Pluck down my officers, break my decrees. For now a time is come to mock at form. Harry the Fifth is crowned. Up vanity, down royal state. All you sage counselors hence, and to the English court assemble now from every region, apes of idleness. Now, neighbor confines, purge you of your scum. Have you a ruffian that will swear, drink, dance, revel the night, rob, murder, and commit the oldest sins, the newest kind of ways? Be happy. He will trouble you no more. England shall double gild his treble guilt. England shall give him office, honor, might. For the fifth Harry, for curbed license, plucks the muzzle of restraint. And the wild dog shall flesh his tooth on every innocent. Oh, my poor kingdom, sick with civil blows, when that my care could not withhold thy roots. Oh, thou wilt be a wilderness again, peopled with wolves, thy old inhabitants.
Oh, pardon me, my liege. But for my tears, the moist impediments unto my speech, I had forestalled this dear and deep rebuke, ere you with grief had spoken, and I had heard the course of it so far. There is your crown, and he that wears the crown immortally long guarded yours. If I affect it more than as your honor and as your renown, let me no more from this obedience rise, which my most inward and true duteous spirit teacheth. That my text has suddenly changed size and I can't read it. Let me know if I affect it more than as your honor and as your renown. Let me no more from this obedience rise, which my most inward, true and duteous spirit teacheth. This prostrate and exterior bending, God witness with me, when I here came in and found no course of breath within your majesty, how cold it struck my heart. If I do feign, oh, let me in my present wildness die and never live to show the incredulous world the noble change that I have purposed, coming to look on you, thinking you dead, and dead almost, my liege, to think you were. I spake unto this crown as having sense, and thus upbraided it, the care on thee depending hath fed upon the body of my father. Therefore thou, best of gold, art worst of gold. Other less fine in carat is more precious, preserving life in medicine potable. But thou, most fine, most honored, most renowned, hast eat thy bearer up. Thus, my most royal liege, accusing it, I put it on my head, to try with it as with an enemy that had before my face murdered my father, the quarrel of a true inheritor. But if it did infect my blood with joy, or swell my thoughts to any strain of pride, if any rebel or vain spirit of mine did with the least affection of a welcome give entertainment to the mind of it, that God forever keep it from my head, and make me as the poorest vassal is that doth with awe and terror kneel to it.
Oh, my son, God put it in thy mind to take it hence, that thou mightst win the more thy father's love, pleading so wisely in excuse of it. Come hither, Harry, sit thou by my bed and hear. I think the very latest counsel that ever I shall breathe. God knows, my son, by what bypaths and indirect crooked ways I met the crown, and I myself know well how troublesome it sat upon my head. To thee it shall descend with bitter quiet, better opinion, better confirmation, for all the soil of the achievement goes with me into the earth. It seemed in me but as an honor snatched with boisterous hand, and I had many living to upbraid my gain of it by their assistances, which daily grew to quarrel and to bloodshed, wounding supposed peace. All these bold fears thou cease with peril I have answered, for all my reign hath been as a scene, acting that argument. And now my death changes the mode, for what in me was purchased falls upon thee in a more fairer sort. So thou the garland wearest successively, yet though thou standst more sure than I could do, thou art not firm enough, since griefs are green. And all my friends, which thou must make thy friends, have but their strings and teeth newly ta'en out, by whose fell working I was first advanced, and by whose power I well might lodge a fear to be again displaced, which to avoid I cut them off, and had a purpose now to lead out many to the Holy Land, lest rest and lying still might make them look too near into my state. Therefore, my Harry, be it thy course to busy giddy minds with foreign quarrels, that action hence borne out may waste the memory of the former days. More would I, but my lungs are wasted so that strength of speech is utterly denied me. How I came by the crown, O God forgive, and grant it may with thee in true peace live.
My gracious liege, you won it, wore it, kept it, gave it me. Then plain and right must my possession be, which I, with more than with a common pain, 'gainst all the world, will rightfully maintain.
Look, here comes my John of Lancaster. Okay. That was interesting. Very good scene for the occasion. Okay, so up next we have Measure for Measure. That is Claudio and Isabella. That's Bill and Maggie are going to be Claudio and Isabella. Maggie found just the right improvised costume for the occasion. That's perfect.
Now
Okay,
it's called a scarf.
you're both ready to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Now,
Did you
sister.
hear that, Claudia? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, sister. Now, sister, what's the comfort?
Why, as all comforts are, most good indeed. Lord Angelo, having affairs to heaven, intends you for his swift ambassador, where you shall be in everlasting leisure. Therefore, your best appointment make with speed. Tomorrow you set on.
Is there no remedy?
None but such a remedy as to save a head, to cleave a heart in twain.
But is there any?
Yes, brother, you may live. There is a devilish mercy in the judge, if you'll implore it, that will free your life, but fetter you till death.
Perpetual durance?
Aye, just perpetual durance, a restraint, though all the world's vastity you had to a determined scope.
But in what nature?
In such a one as you, consenting to't, would bark your honor from that trunk you bear and leave you naked.
Let me know the point.
I do fear thee, Claudio, and I quake lest thou a fervous life shouldst entertain, and 6 or 7 winters more respect than a perpetual honor. Darest thou die? The sense of death is most in apprehension, and the poor beetle that we tread upon in corporal sufferance finds a pang as great as when a giant dies.
Why give you me this shame? I think I can a resolution fetch from flowery tenderness. If I must die, I will encounter darkness as a bride and hug it in mine arms.
There spake my brother. There my father's grave did utter forth a voice. Yes, thou must die. Thou art too noble to conserve a life in base appliances. This outward sainted deputy, whose settled visage and deliberate word nips youth in the head and follies doth immue as falcon doth the fowl, is yet a devil. His filth within being cast, he would appear a pond as deep as hell.
The frenzy, Angelo.
Oh, 'tis the cunning livery of hell, the damnedest body to invest and cover in frenzy guards. Dost thou think, Claudio, if I would yield him my virginity, thou mightst be freed?
Oh, heavens, it cannot be.
Yes, he would give thee from this rank offense, so to offend him still. This night's the time that I should do what I abhor to name, or else thou diest tomorrow.
Thou shalt not do it.
Oh, were it but my life, I'd throw it down for your deliverance as frankly as a pin.
Thanks, dear Isabel.
Be ready, Claudio, for your death tomorrow.
Yes. Has he affections in him that thus can make him bite the law by the nose when he would force it? Sure, it is no sin, or of the deadly 7, it is the least.
Which is the least?
If it were damnable, he being so wise, why would he for the momentary trick be perdurably fined? Oh, Isabel.
What says my brother?
Death is a fearful thing.
And shamed life is a hateful.
Aye, but to die and go we know not where, to lie in cold obstruction and to rot, this sensible warm motion to become a kneaded clod, and the delighted spirit to bathe in fiery floods, or to reside in thrilling region of thick-ribbed ice, to be imprisoned in the viewless winds and blown with restless violence round about the pendant world, or or to be worse than worst, of those that lawless and in certain thought imagine howling? Ah, 'tis too horrible. The weariest and most loathed worldly life, that age, ache, penury, and imprisonment can lay on nature as a paradise to what we fear of death.
Alas, alas.
Sweet sister, let me live. What sin you do to save a brother's life, nature dispenses with the deed so far that it becomes a virtue.
Oh, you beast! Oh, faithless coward! Oh, dishonest wretch! Wilt thou be made a man out of my vice? Is not a kind of incest to take life from thine own sister's shame? What should I think? Heaven shield my mother played my father fair, for such a warped slip of wilderness ne'er issued from his blood. Take my defiance, die, perish. Might but my bending down reprieve thee from my fate, it should proceed. I'll pray 1,000 prayers for thy death, no word to save thee.
Nay, hear me, Isabel.
Oh, fie, fie, fie! Thy sin's not accidental, but a trade. Mercy to thee would prove itself a bawd. 'Tis best thou diest quickly.
Oh, hear me, Isabella. See?
Okay, very nice. Okay, now we have John of Gaunt and Duchess of Lancaster. That's let's see, that's John and Shelia. Okay, you're both ready to go?
Yes. Alas, the part I had in Woodstock's blood doth more solicit me than your exclaims, to stir against the butchers of his life. But since correction lieth in those hands which made the fault that we cannot correct, put our quarrel to the will of heaven, who, when they see the hours ripe on earth, will rain hot vengeance on offenders' heads.
Finds brotherhood in thee no sharper spur? Hath love in thy old blood no living fire? Edward's 7 sons, whereof thou thyself art one, were as 7 vials of his sacred blood, or 7 fair branches springing from one root. Some of those 7 are dried by nature's course, some of those branches by the destinies cut. But Thomas, my dear lord, my life, my Gloucester, one vial full of Edward's sacred blood, one flourishing branch of his most royal root is cracked, and all the precious liquor spilt is hacked down, and his summer leaves all faded by envy's hand and murderer's bloody axe. Oh, God, his blood was thine. That bed, that womb, that metal, that self-mold that fashioned thee made him a man. And though thou livest and breathest, yet art thou slain in him. Thou dost consent in some large measure to thy father's death, and that thou seest thy wretched brother die, who was the model of thy father's life. Oh, call it not patience, Gaunt, it is despair. In suffering thus thy brother to be slaughtered, thou showest the naked pathway to thy life, teaching stern murder how to butcher thee, that which means is in mean men we entitle patience. pale, cold cowardice in noble breasts. Oh, what shall I say? To safeguard thine own life, the best way is to venge my Gloucester's death.
God's is the quarrel, for God substitute his deputy anointed in his sight hath caused his death. The which, if wrongfully, let heaven revenge, for I may never lift an angry arm against his minister.
Where then, alas, may I complain myself?
To God, the widow's champion and defense.
Why then, I will. Farewell, old Gaunt. Thou goest to Coventry, there to behold our cousin Hereford and fell Mowbray fight. Oh, sit my husband's wrongs on Hereford's spear, that it may enter butcher Mowbray's breast. Or, if misfortune miss the first career, be Mowbray's sin so heavy in his bosom, they may break his foaming courser's back and throw the rider headlong in the lists. A caitiff recreant to my cousin Hereford. Farewell, old Gaunt. Thy sometimes brother's wife, with her companion grief, must end her life.
Sister, farewell. I must to Coventry. As much good stay with thee as go with me.
Yet, one word more. Grief boundeth where it falls, not with the empty hollowness, but wait. I take my leave before I have begun, for sorrow ends not when it seemeth done. Commend me to thy brother, Edmund York, though this is all. Nay, yet depart not so. Though this be all, do not so quickly go. I shall remember more. Bid him, with all good speed, at Plashy visit me. Alack, and what shall good old York see there but empty lodgings and unfurnished walls, unpeopled offices, untrodden stones? And what hear there for welcome with my groans? Therefore commend me. Let him not come there to see out sorrow that dwells everywhere. Desolate. Will I hence and die. The last leave of thee takes my weeping eye.
Okay, very nice. That's not a famous scene, but it's a short but really good scene. I really like that one. I don't think we've spun that one in a long time, so it's been glad to see what the two of you did with that one. Okay, so lastly we have Juliet and the nurse, Henry and Alex doing that. And you're both ready to go? Go ahead.
So it starts, the nurse is not in.
Yeah.
I was talking to
Yeah, I know, but you can.
Mark, really, because are you going to take the nurse out, Mark?
I think that isn't it? I was looking at the scene. I think they're Peter is in there and she dismisses him, but he doesn't have any lines. I think you can like refer to it. To maybe I'm looking at the wrong scene.
No, I'm just saying the scene begins with just Juliet by herself.
Yeah.
That's
So you want me to? Okay, you want me to take take Alex out of the scene and then have him enter. Okay, yeah, I'll have you doing a monologue, and then when it says enter Nurse and Peter, I'll add Alex to the stream.
The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, yet she is not come. Had she affections and warm, youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. Oh, but old folks, many fain as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Oh God, she comes. Oh, honey nurse, what news? Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away.
Peter, stay at the gate.
Now, good sweet nurse. Oh Lord, why look'st thou sad? Though news be sad, yet tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face.
I am aweary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. What a jaunt have I had.
I would thou hast my bones, and I thy news. Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good news, speak.
Jesus, what haste? Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath?
How art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me thou art out of breath? The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either, and I'll say the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. It's good or bad?
Well, you have made a simple choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo! No, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, yet his leg excels all men's, and for a hand and foot and a body, though they be not to be talked on, yet they're past compare. He's not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go, thy wench, serve God. What, have you dined at home?
No, but all of this I did know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that?
Lord, how my head aches.
Oh.
What a head have I! It beats as if it would fall in 20 pieces. My back on the other side. Oh, my back. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down.
My faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet nurse, tell me what says my love.
Your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and warrant, virtuous. Where's your mother?
Where is my mother? Why, she is within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother?
Oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Mary, come up, I trow. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward do your messages yourself.
Oh, here's such a coil. Come, what says Romeo?
Have you got leave to go to Shrift today?
I have.
Then hie your hands to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make your wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks. They'll be in scarlet straight at any news. Hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delights, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Go out to dinner, hie to the cell.
High to high fortune, honestness, farewell.
Hey, very nice. Okay, well,
was
great
fun. Thank you, Alex.
performances today, everybody. Glad we were all able to get together. We'll do it at the same time next week. And for now, we will adjourn this session in memory of Eleanor's mother. So take care, everybody. Bye now.